Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy and on my channel I talk about all things burnout related. In 2016 I myself am burnt out and I'm using my experience to help my clients recover better, quicker, in a more sustainable way from burnout, or ideally before that, that people don't burn out at all. Today I want to talk about dealing with uncertainty. I personally hate uncertainty. I really don't like it. I like to know what's going on and I like to know how to prepare for stuff. I like to be in charge. Then there are other people that like a certain level of uncertainty. My wife is such a person, and a good friend of ours who's Portuguese, lives in London, works for Google, says he can never ever live in Switzerland because everything runs too well. Everything is too well organized. A certain level of unpredictability is something that he prefers. I guess each their own. If you're more like me, then uncertainty will cause a certain level of anxiety in you, discomfort, unease. These days you can do VUCA workshops. So folks, the coaches have realized that people have problems with uncertainty, so they created workshops and they are called VUCA workshops. VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguity. I hate every word in this abbreviation and I'm pretty certain I didn't pronounce the last one right. So if you're more like me, and unfortunately there will always be a certain level of uncertainty, you need to deal with it. How? I'm glad you asked. I try and do two things. The first thing that I do is I try to reduce the uncertainty, the unknown, as much as possible. For example, a couple of years ago I wanted to go on holiday to the US with the family, and I wasn't sure if it's a good idea to travel with 6-year-old twins on long haul. So what I did is I researched as much as I could. I watched a ton of YouTube videos of flight reports from Zurich to Boston. At the same time I was asking around a couple of friends that I know who have traveled long haul with small kids for tips and tricks. Also, obviously, I researched the weather forecast to know what to pack. Bit by bit, I could reduce the uncertainty, the unknown, and bit by bit, I felt more comfortable going on this trip. Now, you also have to be very careful when you research stuff on the internet, because if you, for example, look up that you have a stomach ache and what it could be, the internet most probably will tell you that you're going to die in 2 days. So be careful. But this also brings me to the second thing that I want to do. I try not to catastrophize. I try not to blow things out of proportion. So I draw up a list of potential scenarios and outcomes. And I ask myself, what is really the worst thing that can happen? And then I go, how likely is that to happen? Or what on my list is more likely going to happen? Just by going through these questions, I already reduce the anxiety, because I realistically can go and say, hang on a minute, my worst fear is very unlikely. And even then I can start thinking of ways how I could react if something goes completely wrong. So in short, two things that I do: reduce the uncertainty as much as possible and don't catastrophize or blow things out of proportion. I hope this clip helps. I'm very thankful for you to watching this clip. Please give it a thumbs up and thank you very much for subscribing. If you want to know more about my services, please go and visit www.lavichkaconsulting.com for more information regarding my services. Thank you very much and take care. Goodbye.